Hi, everybody. I hope that you had an outstanding Christmas and Happy New Year to you all. Hello to Cowabunga. So nice to see you here, ready and waiting. And I'm really pleased to be joined by Tim from Ghosted UK. Last time we were here, we had some footage that I was showing, and there was so much footage that we only got to show half of it. So today I've been through what we have shown and deleted the ones that we have shown and left the ones we haven't shown yet. I don't know what order these are going to come in, so they're going to come in at some particular order. Lindsay, I hope that you're doing really good. And
Hi, Lindsay.
yeah, and it's yes. And also as well, I was going to sort of ask, who unfortunately has been ill at Christmas, please say, but maybe it might actually be easier and quicker to say who hasn't been ill over the Christmas period.
Yeah.
With a chat beforehand. So it's nice, and thank you for coming back again for doing this, Tim. So how have you been since our last, hello Pat, our last conversation?
Oh, been ill. Had some cough, cold or something, or people had COVID, all sorts. I mean, someone I was speaking to ended up 3 days in A&E, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day and Boxing Day in A&E. So yeah, there's been all sorts of bugs and God knows what's going about. But our team still managed to get out. Obviously, the healthy sort of ones left. Do some private investigations as normal. That's about it really at the moment. We're still hanging on.
So there's Betty, which I'm going to say hello to Betty, but it's Lorna coming on up as Betty. So that's absolutely fine. And yeah, I'm glad that some people have remained sort of healthy. So we've got some clips lined up. Please, everybody, if you want to ask about Tim's investigation style, some places he's been to, any questions.
Anything you want to ask.
Anything you like, I will get the clips up. Do ask about the clips as well. Would be really, really cool. So before we start showing the clips, or people start asking some questions, or if anybody wants to share something, tag me in the post, because I usually do that and I haven't done that today. Please do that. Be amazing, so more people can get to see it. That'd be really, really cool. So you don't say it's basically, I don't think we mentioned last time, but sort of some of the members of your team, if they're happy to be mentioned, about members of your team. Hello, Alison.
Yeah, well, there's members of the team are Natasha, Annabelle, Jane, Mandy, Matt, Andrew, and did I say Jane? Yeah, James. Yeah, that's most of our team there. 2 or 3 are mediums. So yeah, we get the input from mediums as well, which is interesting. So that's our team. But some of them are quite ill at the moment, or been ill. I think 8 weeks. I think Natasha's been ill.
Wow.
Yeah, so sort of cough and cold type thing, and we don't want to spread anything on to anyone else.
Very wise.
We're hanging on, but that's typical this time of year. But yeah, we're doing some investigations at the moment. That's our main bread and butter anyway.
Fantastic.
But any questions you want to ask me about anything about the paranormal, and I'll try and answer anything I can, possibly.
Sorry, carry on.
I'll try.
Let me just start with sharing, because people did like the videos from last time around. So let me just pull sync up. I've got no idea what these are going to be, so we'll do some and then do ask some questions as well. So we'll start with this one.
Yes.
And I hope that I've got it right. Let's have a look.
It should be okay. Yeah, because you got.
Hi, Jane. So where was this? There was a bit of a breath afterwards. What was the investment?
Yeah, it's a business we investigated. They were doing a lot of refurbishment. I think it's a middle and 19th century building, and it was just some things. I found some strange things in this building, and like dolls and all sorts of different things, kids' shoes and things like that. And we were asked to investigate it, and that was quite active, very active actually, because you don't know when you go to these places, is it going to be quiet? Are they going to be quiet and not come out and speak or capture anything? But this was just walking through just before we actually started, and I noticed the EVP there. I think it's a strange one.
Yeah. It says "Oh blast, dearie me" or something like that.
Yeah, it's you can play it again, and it's
Yeah.
it's
just on the floor. It should be okay. Yeah, because you got.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh shit! To me, it sounded like oh shit, and then well, then a breath. But it's a weird voice. It's like someone. I mean, it was me there on my own there, and Amanda who just walked ahead. In that building, in that section there, there's only us two there. So I know it in anyone from the team or anything like that, definitely, because there's just us two there at the time.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
It's just weird. I mean, I don't get it myself. I mean, I don't understand. Someone said, "Oh shit." Sometimes they mimic or repeat things we say or something we said.
Yes.
Laugh at something we say and we capture, and it's obviously watching us for whatever reason. Didn't pinpoint who it was or from from what era or anything like that, which is a shame. But yeah, I think we had a little child as well come through at the top floor, and the REM pod was going off, and we were getting communication, and we heard a little girl's voice as well, I think, that night, which was quite interesting. So yeah.
Did you hear this voice come through at any other point as well? Throughout
not these ones. A lot of them we didn't hear at all.
Yeah.
Some we didn't hear. It's just what the camera picked up. I mean, our camera's quite good for EVPs. It's not really set to anything special. It's a Sony cam, but it's a top, a decent one, 4K with night vision. There's not many about now that they do. Not in the old days, but the picture quality and sound is pretty poor then. I've still got my old Sony cam, and but these are obviously digital recorded, on a memory card. So there's nothing should be, recorded from, not like the old tape decks.
No.
Yeah. People used to record of the old tape and hear a voice, but that was a voice from something recorded previously. So when you do EVPs, there's got to be a blank tape sort of thing.
Yeah, it gets expensive. That's the only downside when you're using new cassette tapes all the time. But I tended to do a new cassette tape the first time round, and then use the cassette tape. There was nothing recorded on it to record the essential mix, and then just keep that and keep buying a new tape for the EVPs. I found the best way.
VHS, they weren't cheap. Blanks at one time, they were quite expensive.
No, I mean the blanks you can actually buy a Blu-ray now for less money than what a blank VHS tape cost today, or Betamax. Blimey.
So they weigh a ton. The cameras.
I know that one of my friends, he said about when he had a kid, they had like a separate like video recorder that was like on a strap that you had to carry around with you as well. So that must have weighed an absolute ton. But I think that night vision has got so much better now, even just because I used to have like the extra beam to go on top of the cameras, because before, in the other days, it'd be very muddy, kind of sort of just about see the end of the room in it. But now they're really quite good, the depth that one can pick up now.
Our one now is set up superb. It is amazing at the moment. This is okay, but the lighting weren't right, so there's got better lighting now. People don't realise this is what you say. This is in pitch black. You can't see in front. You know, you can't see your hand in front of you, basically, apart from the light from the camera. That's it.
Yes.
That's how the team works. Pitch black. It seemed to work better for some reason. You know, I think they feel that you're vulnerable, so they might come forward that way. I think.
No, I agree. When I've closed up the hatch sometimes, so you're really in pitch black, that's when some of the best stuff comes through. So if I got time, I might play one of those later. Yeah, we'll just play one more time this one so you can hear the voice. If you've got earphones, I highly recommend putting them in, particularly for the EVPs, because you will pick it up a lot better. So let's just hear this again.
Yeah, nice and loud. Turn the volume
It
up.
should be okay. Yeah, because you got.
Yeah. Oh shit. And then the breath.
It's definitely what I would call, and you know, I'm although I'm not a dad around that sort of age now, but somebody said the dad noise picking up as you go down to pick up an object.
Yeah. You could have said,
Excellent.
well, then people might say, well, that could be Amanda from over there, but that wouldn't be as clear and as
Not
loud
to that
as
microphone.
not that distance. No, there's no booster mic on that either. So it's just the standard camera sound recorder.
And I think, sorry, Tim. I think the team that you go around with would say that was me. Then after,
oh yes, pointless otherwise.
So do get your questions in. Let's see what this one is now. Let's see what these are. I don't know all these are going to come up.
Something pushed.
Where is it?
Is there an ornament there? We picked an ornament.
That's quite an impressive EVP.
Yes. We got a couple of whistles. That's the same. Actually, in saying that, I was saying a few things lately. We have captured a few whistles that we've physically heard. I did do one before Christmas. That was a business again, which I can't disclose where, but it used to be. All I can say, it used to be an old brewery. That's all I can say. And they've had activity there, and they were saying about whistles. They said they heard some whistles, and we actually heard these whistles. That they weren't being intelligently responding to questions, but occasionally all you heard is this like whistle, and that's happening a few times. I think we've done a private one as well, and that we got some whistles in that for some strange reason. And a few of us heard the whistles, and we couldn't, no explanation where they come from or what, but no intelligent, you know, you can ask them to whistle, but they wouldn't do it. Just occasionally you'll hear a whistle for some strange reason. Yeah, so that's quite clear, that one.
Yeah, indeed. Lindsay said here we have to have a look at getting set up on night vision when live. I mean, I think they did buy a camera. Let me know if you've got the camera, Lindsay. But I know with like night visions, I think you can get some cameras with Wi-Fi in, and then you can then put it across to either the Wi-Fi or the data and stream it across that way, so you can film in data. But I have to look into that.
Most of our, like I say, 99% of our investigations are in pitch black. Though you see the green screen on the cameras, what we show, we work in night vision because there's no lights, there's no it seemed to work with us for some reason a lot better. Not always, we wouldn't have the lights on and things happen, but it seemed to work better. I think you're more vulnerable. There's even questions to say, you know, they say go into the light if a spirit's there and they're scared of the light. There was that question raised once. So, well, maybe the light, it scares them, so they keep away. When it's pitch black, they'll come out and be active.
Yeah.
What's that? Do the whistles ever? Yes, they do. Yes, I think Paul's got a video somewhere where I asked a question at a theatre and that responded. when I
I'll
said,
try and.
do you think? I said, do you think good looking? I didn't get reply. When I said, do you think I'm ugly? We heard a whistle.
Oh dear! I'm not
Yeah,
sure if we played that last week. I remember seeing that, so
yeah.
hopefully it's in this lot.
We do
When I say
sometimes.
last week, last time, yeah. I've not really had much success of things being thrown back at all. I remember being on investigation, I had a load of pennies, and then threw them in the pub to the other end. Nothing came back, and I thought, well, I'll never see those again, which was a shame.
Oh, penny Paul, look out a minute.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, rich.
Yeah, that's so rare. I mean, I'm doing it for like 40 years now of my interest in the paranormal. I mean, I don't like saying it because I'm getting old. But yeah, no, I've never had anything. I can't think of any time I've had a ball come rolling back to me. You know, in some of these TV shows, they come flying back. Yeah, no, not at all. Even if it's the most active place, I've heard balls rolling. I've had
Yeah.
footprints. I've had, you name it, I've heard it. But I've even heard it sounded like a fart once, a burp, whistles, and things like that. But I never, we tried the ball rolling and rolling back, but nothing. We've had a ball move slightly. One of those, or what they call those active. They're active balls that you touch them. There's sensors on them, and you touch them, and they go off. We've had them kept going off until they have to be touched or moved. But no, I never can't think of any balls rolling back. That'd be amazing. Yes, I've heard. Yeah, scratching sound as well. Something being dragged along the floor. Someone being dragged. We've had aeroplane sound of an aeroplane. We've had horses. We've heard horses before, and obviously there's no horses about. There's been, you name it, we've basically heard it. Which is weird, but amazing.
Yeah, and Lindsay's looking into. We have got the camera, not got the lights, but we'll look into it. Yeah, we look forward to seeing that. Absolutely.
Night vision camera and IR light on it, and they seem to be obviously got the IR light, so you can see. They're built into the camera. I've got an extra special one. It's only battery powered, but that really brightens up. You can have 2 or 3 of them on your camera, and that really lights up the room in night vision.
Yeah, I think Lindsay and John, they've got a camera that can, like a mobile phone camera that can do night vision. Kelly, how are you? I hope that you're doing really good. So have you ever seen spirit lights? Sorry.
Spirit light. Yes, I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
We're in a cellar one time, and we got it was like car lights, two bright lights moving around in the cellar. There's 4 walls on the door, so there's no outside light because obviously in the cellar you're in the ground. And these 2 lights moved around in the room with us. We had whistles that night as well next to us, which I recorded. Like someone whistling right next to us. But these 2 bright lights moved around, just kept moving around. And the weird thing is I didn't pick the lights up on the night vision camera at the time. There was nothing there, but we saw them. And they just moved, bright light just moving around. And then they just boop and vanished. For about 15 minutes or so it went on. So that's strange, yeah. Because there's, if you've got a window or something, people say it could be light reflection, car lights and stuff like that. But yeah, we've had that. We've had mists. Recorded like a mist that came like a figure come through, like a full part apparition because that was like the head, and sort of misted in, saw the face, and then misted back out again. That was quite good, unexpectedly. See, when you do lives, like people do lives, always go back on your footage and just see what you've captured, because you done a live chat.
Yeah.
A nice EVP.
Yes.
You know, but unless you hear it at the time, sometimes you don't hear it.
We didn't hear it at the time when it was that past life regression and the voice come across.
Oh,
yeah, I mean, the viewers heard it. We didn't.
Always go back on your footage. If you're a true investigator, you'd go back on your footage and check. A lot of them just bung out lives, boom, 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 whatever they do. But you'd be surprised the evidence you captured. It's actually on your live that you didn't noticed at all.
Yeah, go back several times, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, you can. I've captured stuff. I've gone through the video 4 or 5 times, nothing. Then the next time I've gone through it just to check something, bang. You know, I heard an EVP I hadn't heard before. What's that come from?
Yeah.
It's a split second sometimes, EVPs, so you've got to be always be checking the videos, because you'd be surprised what's on there.
Exactly. Lindsay said we had a ball move when we were at Von Hunter's with Von Hunter at a working men's club. It was amazing. We'll have to look for the footage. Yeah, I mean, not putting you under too much, but I will be chatting with Lindsay, John, and Claire next week, which would be amazing. So if there's any little clips you'd love to share with me, if you got them, please send them through. It'll be amazing.
It's amazing when it happens. It's rare. They don't happen all the time. But if you do get some. I had a glass move, didn't I? Captured. I didn't even notice. I mean, that's the only downfall of night vision. You wouldn't, because you can't see a damn thing. You wouldn't notice it anyway until you look back on the camera.
Exactly.
That's the downfall of night vision. But that's amazing that happened, because if you also have to debunk it, make sure nothing's, could something banged the table and it moved, or is a wind moved something, and you got to debunk it, because at the end of the day you want it to be 100% evidence. That's the whole reason you should be doing it. If you're not, then there's something wrong if you're not. Because if you're going to be, I mean, you can get hyper, what's the word, too excited about something. I've done it. You get too excited and you jump to the conclusion that it's paranormal. And then when you find out, it's actually not paranormal, it's a big disappointment, trust me.
Yeah.
I've seen things move and found out that was a rug being moved with an object on top by accident. And at the end, I went, "Oh my God, a REM pod just moved 2 foot across the floor. Blooming heck, that's fantastic." But
yeah.
the carpet being moved, so it looked like it's been. So yeah, you've got to be 100% sure.
Exactly. Kelly says here, over the last few weeks, I've been having paranormal things happen to me again. So yeah, I mean, it's I hope it's all good stuff. Hello, Patrice.
You could be. A lot of people don't realise they're open. They're quite sensitive to spirit, so things happen around you a lot, and you think, "Is it the house?" A lot of the time, it can be you. When you move to another place and it's as active as it was the last place, it probably is you. That's they're trying to get your attention. They feel that you can communicate with them, maybe even. And that's why they're active every time you go to it. I think a lady I knew moved about 6 times and had activity at each house. And I said, "No, it's probably you." She went, "Oh, right, yeah, I suppose that makes sense." I go, "Well, yeah, obviously, because common sense would say, they're trying to contact you. You're sensitive to spirit." A lot of people don't. Something fall on the floor, they're just, he knocked that over, and don't even think about it as being paranormal.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing about it. If you're sensitive and you're open to it, you will think, well, maybe it could have been, and then debunk it. Where was the cut? Blah blah blah, and then you're more open to it.
Exactly.
Sorry to ramble on.
No, it's good. I was just going to say it might not be Lindsay, John, everybody next week, or it might be, but I'll keep everybody posted what's happening anyway. on that. So let's see what Pat says. Can spirits be seen during daylight as solid figures, or would it be more likely to be a time slip? What's your thoughts and theories on that, Tim?
Yes, I think they can be. I've seen a spirit during the day, so in the summer in the afternoon. So, and it's a solid figure. It was like us, what you're looking at us now, exactly the same. So to my answer to that is yes, they can be daytime. You can see him; it's a solid figure, and you just think it's a person and not think nothing of it. I think the only thing that might be a difference is how long you see them for. I wouldn't have thought they'd be hanging around for like an hour, which would be amazing, but it'd be like a few seconds, like a minute, a couple of minutes tops, appear and then disappear. Time slips, yeah, it's possible. I mean, I think we're like different dimensions, but as one. A bit like the butterfly effect. I've had my thoughts. Again, there's theories, but every time I get a theory and I think, oh, I got it right, and I get it wrong, something changes it.
Well, it's always good to be flexible with your theories anyway, I think.
Yeah, paranormal is always a theory. It's never gospel. If you believe what someone says, I say something, and you think that's gospel, what Tim said, then that's rubbish, because it's all a theory. Everything's a theory in what happens after you die, or time slips and things like that. That's the amazing thing about it. There's never a true answer, I don't think, to it.
I'm with you.
We're guessing what happens, but my theory is that there's probably some sort of us now and something happened in the past, and you basically it's blended into us, so to speak, like and that can happen. You see a figure walking across something in the past that's happened, and you just witnessed it exact as that happens in front of you at the same position, same time. There's a lot of people seen, even Viking ships. People have seen, or even objects. Large objects. People have said they've seen like pyramids, I think, in one place, something like that. The size of a pyramid appear and disappear in in a town, which seems unbelievable. But you never know. You just don't know with it. It is possible. And I'm not talking about the pyramids can move or anything like that. It's just someone sees something and it transfer over to somewhere else. Like people have been in pubs that are burnt down years ago, but when they were in it, that was a pub. There's stories like that. Do you mean the whole building was there 1 minute and vanished the next? That it is, and these people are, they're not mad or crazy. The witnesses, and there's genuine people have witnessed something amazing. So yeah, it's the reason. One of the reasons I got into it as well is the interest of these different things, like UFOs, things like that.
Yeah, I love all aspects of the panel. It was a good whistle, that one, so I'm going to repeat it twice so people can hear it twice.
Oh, okay.
Shoulder. Something pushing. Where is that?
There's an ornament there. We picked an ornament.
I'll play that one more time. The second was really loud.
Yeah. If you listen to it, it doesn't sound like anyone's voice either, if you know what I mean. If you know that, when you hear it again.
I'm wondering if it's through the doorway, the first whistle, because it's when you move the camera, it gets louder. So I'm wondering if it's like the whistle came from that area, and then when you go to it, you're pretty much next to the entity, the spirit that created that whistle, maybe.
I've got that on my shoulder.
That's the first one.
Something pushing. Where is that?
There's an ornament there. We picked an ornament.
Definitely getting your attention.
Yeah, you can hear the faint one, which it don't make no sense why you got a faint one and then a loud one. So if that was like the couple of the team there, Jane and Mandy, I think there, and I'm with food team and down the other end of the building. But you can quite hear why you would hear a faint one and a loud one. If that was one of the team or outside of the building or anything, it wouldn't make it. It's completely contradicting itself in a way of the whistle. It's like it's a weak whistle and then a really strong one. And that's what I was saying about people being spirits can be right in your face and you not even know they're there, you know, until you hear them, or they breathe on you. That's another experience. Or they'll touch your head or things like that.
I remember experiencing something once on an investigation. I actually felt, it's very weird, it felt like a drip went straight through the body. Actually, felt it go through the body. It was so bizarre. And then someone I was with felt the same thing about 5 minutes later. Totally bizarre.
A drip?
Yeah, like almost like a water drip, but where it would hit your shoulder and stop, it carried through the body and actually felt it go through the body. It was so weird.
Yes.
It was...
Yeah, amazing.
So, sorry, we have Lorna here. Betty, but Lorna. Do you think spirits can interact with us without realizing it is a spirit?
Spirit can. That's one about us realizing it isn't. I think so. Yeah, definitely. I think some people things happen daily, and you some people might not notice it. There'd be something. I think the main one is, say you put your keys down. You swear you put your keys down on a unit. You go off. You then go and out. You go get your keys and they're vanished. And you think, where I put my keys down? I swear I just put my keys down. You're looking around, and this has happened to me. And you go off. You think, where are these blooming keys? I'm cracking up. You go back and they're there. So they're back where they were, but they weren't there a minute ago. So it's like, they'll be somewhere else. That's a big. Obviously, people first thing think, well, you misplaced your keys or you forgot but you put your keys there because you put them. I'll put them on my unit before I go out, so I know where they are, so I'm prepared. So when I'm organised, that is, and I'll put them on, and then I'll go on to them, and they're gone. And there's also, I spoke to a lot of people, even places. I think a museum once couldn't find their keys to get in. They're in another office. And they went in there. They put them on the key ring thing, and they went to open the museum up, and the keys just vanished. They couldn't find them anyway. I think it took them ages. I think the next day to find them somewhere else. Had been moved. Obviously, you think of staff, but the lady assured me she was the only one on that couple of days, so no one would have touched them. And she said, anyone touched my keys, I'd have killed them, so they know not to touch them. Or they'd have said, she phoned up, no, I ain't touched your keys, and I'll have a member's case. They'd come in and moved them. I've even, there's been a case where a great big advertising board's moved, and they couldn't find it. And to this day, no one knows where it went.
Wow.
This is a 6-foot advertising board locked away inside a building, and it's vanished. I'll have to get an update on that. That was a long while ago. I'll have to find out what happened to whether it was somebody who moved it or it was something else.
I remember speaking to somebody who claimed that they had do you know those sweets that you get, like jelly beans, and they're like in like a little walking stick for the kids, and you pop the top off.
Oh yeah.
But they actually disappeared from inside one of these sticks, and it was all sealed still. And then when they just mind their own business, just like a shower of these, like a week or two later, a shower of these sweets just went on the floor, which is quite a incredible thing for somebody to say they experience. Yeah. Hello, Charles. I hope you're good. Oh yeah, Happy New Year to you and anybody else I haven't wished Happy New Year to as yet.
Yes, Happy New Year to everyone.
Let's pull this one up. I've got no idea what it's going to be.
No, I know.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for, wasn't it?
Disgusting.
Yep. Sugar pinches.
Does it say foliage?
Include.
Oh. Right. So
Have you got... You're doing EVP here as well.
So somebody thought it was foliage then, which I found quite amusing. So which place was this at?
Oh, that was an old church. It's going to an old church, quite old one. And I think we were just going to somewhere else, and we stopped off there for a minute. Because we didn't, personally, I didn't, as far as I know, it wasn't an active church. It's a really old dated one, because we didn't do active churches in respect for people who passed. Just our rule. And there's one of the mediums picked up on, I think it was Annabelle, picked up on something to do with, there's a lady there and she didn't want us there, and she's foul-mouthed, and I wouldn't say she's old, but she's just noosing around here, like keeping like the place, or keeping an eye on the place, or something to do with that, to do with the gardens, and she wasn't like 200 years ago. This is like a few years back or something. And she loved the place, and she didn't want us being there, foul mouthed. And the weird thing is, didn't think no more of it. And then I weren't to, we were just walking through. If you can listen, like you say, it's just shut up, bitches. We're talking, because sometimes we get stuff come through when we're just talking amongst each other.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of stuff we capture when we put the camera down and the team will have a tea break, or you know, or whatever they're doing, and just leave the camera to one side and go off somewhere doing something. Then we'll be surprised how they interact with us on the camera we capture. But yeah, that was weird. That was, but it wasn't very old. I don't think it was a young girl. She wasn't that old, if I remember.
It actually sounds like the spirit voice, rather almost like somebody at work in their 20s upset with some of the females there. She goes, "Shut up, bitches," and really kind of like, just the way it sounds, it kind of sounds like it could be, you know, somebody just, you know, a few years back, you know, sort of thing.
Yeah, it is. This is what the weird thing is, that because I think it was Annabelle. I say Annabelle, yeah. I think she picked up this as we're walking through, or stopped. She just, you know, had a look at the graves, sort of thing, and just seeing. And she picked up on something. She said, "I'm picking up this root," and that was just before that. She picked it up, and then we captured that. There's no way. I mean, there obviously wouldn't be no swearing at a church. I mean, I can't think of anyone swearing at. I think the word shit may be used a couple of times, and excuse my Latin, but we, you know, when I think Natasha get attacked by a moth or something, sure, that's our limit. There'd be no F and bitches didn't seem the word we would never use. You know, I don't think the girls would say, "Shut up, bitches." You know.
No. And also, as well, it's not nice to the team members either. So
no, won't be someone in the back. Shut up, bitches. You know.
Yeah.
Not us. So we know it's definitely an EVP.
Yeah.
But then it says bitch.
I mean, to me, that's quite a class A one. That's really clear to me. So let's play it. So if you've got headphones on, give it a listen. Any other questions you've got, please say.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm looking for, wasn't it?
Disgusting.
Yep. Should have benches. Does it say foliage?
Include.
Oh. Right. So
have you got... You're doing EVP here as well.
Bitch.
The first one is really clear. One more time.
Yeah, and it's a bit quiet. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
No, I know. That's what I'm looking for, wasn't it?
Disgusting.
Yep. Should have benches. Does it say foliage?
Include.
Oh. Right. So
have you got... You're doing EVP here as well.
Where was this again? Because that sounded kind of it has a strong sort of accent with it, particularly the first one.
That's in Norfolk. It's in Norfolk.
Yeah.
it's basically I don't like to say the location there because I don't want certain. I probably wouldn't know one from here, but you do get people what follow you everywhere you go.
Yes, yeah.
And I don't know. You see, we don't know who's watching, and we've had so many cases of churches being sabotaged and doors smashed in, and people been setting fire to a church. We've had a lot of that going on in the last year or two in our area. So I don't like to give too much of a location thing about. But it's basically an old church. It's So I try not to say too many locations if I have to, and unless it can't be burnt down. We're the spate of it around here, and it's bad. It's people smashed walls, and then the thing is when they close them off. A couple of them they closed off. Little places we go to, and then that affects the people who really respect where you are. We always respect these places, the history and that. And no way we do anything like that whatsoever. So I'll try not to tell you where it is really, but that's
that's understandable because we don't know where this will be picked up eventually. Yeah. I'm sure everybody watching at the time is going to be wonderful and lovely, but you never know, do you? Charles says Class A for sure. Do get your questions in. I will, anything for Tim about other things he experienced as well would be really good. Have I done this one yet? So hopefully I got the new one. How you go?
Do you want to just switch Boo Bear off for 2 seconds?
Says a hello. Nice to have a more friendly interaction this time.
Yeah, never heard it. Another one we didn't hear. Just hello. That's a pub. I can tell you that's a pub in Norfolk as well. They've had some things happen there, and a lot of activity was in that area actually, where they used to bring the drinks through. That's really just through the kitchen and into the cellar. That's a ground cellar. A lot of pubs had ground cellars. When people say they've got cellars, that doesn't mean they're underground. They're ground level, if you know what I mean. But that's still one of their cellars. It's weird because I never knew cellars were level with the ground. I always thought they're underground. You go down some steps into a cellar. No, a lot of pubs had them ground level, which I thought, well, you'd keep them cool, wouldn't you? In the ground, underground. But that's how I don't know how the history. Something I'll have to check up on that. Why the pubs? Whether they changed it and they did have a cellar, I don't know. But it just seems weird when you go to a pub and say, "Where's your cellar?" Oh, the cellar's just through that door. Oh, what? I thought it'd be downstairs, underground.
No. Hello, Anne. I hope you're doing good. Sorry, I didn't mean to. It's a delay. Sometimes I can think you finish. Interrupt
yeah,
you
I know. They're terrible for messages, isn't it? Hiya, Anne.
So one of the things I'm wondering if it's a pub, if it started off as an ale house only, because it's only really been with the introduction of lagers over here that a lot of beer has been served chilled. I mean, it's 17.5, I think, is supposed to be the ideal temperature for real ale. Yeah. But I'm thinking if it was an ale house to begin with, there would be less concern about the wines being stored just so. It would just get the beer in. Possibly just an idea of mine. Lorna, back on Facebook. Nice one. Let's just play that twice because it's nice to have a pleasant spirit as well come through.
Yeah. Do you want to just switch Boo Bear off for 2 seconds?
Why have you got salt on it? Yeah.
Do you want to just switch Boo Bear off for 2 seconds?
Did you get much negativity from Boo Bear that night, or as I call him, as the Ghost Brothers say, Gangster Boo?
Gangster Boo. Well, the thing is with Boo Bear, that the important thing with that is to put it in a room, lock it off, make sure, if you can lock the door, whatever you want to do, and stick a camera in front of them or watching the bear. Because that's where I think I've got a few clips with the bear in. Because it works better that way. It's not one of them things you just sit in front of and watch. It's one of those things you use him as a tool, and to stick him to one out the way somewhere, the other end of what room, whatever, and lock it off, and just stick him there with a camera in front. Record. He'll ask anything happened to him, like he gets tickled or he'll sense, or he asks questions and things like that. That's what they're for. They're basically like a little investigator themselves. They work better like that than people. When we first go, I thought, well, you stick them there and you'll talk to them, or I'm not really sure, but the Boo Bear will just do their own thing. Locked off camera. That's an interaction with the bear. Maybe a child goes up to him and interact with them. That's what that's what you're looking for on the Boo Bear. I mean, I've seen you can get. It's such a great piece of equipment because it senses all these different things, but they're bloody expensive. Trust me. That's the Tasha's Boo Bear. She got bought for a birthday, I think. I'd hate to think how much that costs. That's the new Boo Bear as well. That's one of the latest ones that came out just before lockdown, I think. But yeah, they're good for that. But that's things like sensing things, isn't it? Like the cold. People don't monitor the temperature in a building, which you need to.
Yes, exactly.
An EMF meter, check the EMF, and he spikes on EMF, electromagnetic fields. Charles has got a question. Do you apps much? Do you use apps much?
Oh, where's that? I can't see Charles's. Oh, yeah, there we go. Sorry, it kind of. Yeah, do you use apps much? So do you use apps much?
Well, I've tried them because someone asked me to try them and see how we got on, and that's like people say, oh, you'll get sick, they're a load of rubbish, or they're good, or whatever. It depends. I mean, certain ones, as I see it, spirit will communicate through anything, and I mean anything. So if you're using a certain app that maybe picks up voices, it's got you can get like a data bank of 2,000 words or 10,000 words or whatever, and you're communicating through the app, through the word, and that's using the app to its advantage to communicate with you. So anything works. If they're there and they want to communicate, they will use anything. They'll switch your phone on and off, and things like that. I mean, I've had batteries. Spirit wanted to communicate something. I don't know why. Warned me. I think someone said my battery's melting. And, well, I say melting, squished to nothing.
Wow, I've never had that.
Yeah, the battery was squeezed to like tiny. There's a 9-volt battery, which is quite a big battery.
Yeah.
2 of them were squished. Like you put something in your hand and went.
The energy that must have required.
Yeah, and that happened before a private one, which we found the private one we were doing is probably the worst case we've come across ever. It was so active, it was beyond belief, and the family had to move out. That was just horrendous. You name it happened. I think there. I think I had 90 EVPs that night on recording. Not all are voices. Some are breaths or something unusual. I think we've got a few of them clips for you here that you might show. But yeah, that's the weirdest thing I've had. So they want to communicate. They will use anything at their own means possible, including apps. They will use. But our one, yeah, old school. Yes, I like old school tools. I've still got some stuff that Andrew's got in our team with the very first EMF type meets. He even got one during the war somewhere. It was used in 1940s or pre-1940s, around at that time. That's a big box, like and it picked up EMF. It's probably, I don't know, if that was one of the first or pre. I wouldn't have thought so. I was supposed to go back many years before that. But yeah, it's on the guidance of the spirit's got energy, and then that's how they thought of using EMF meters. But yeah, we've got some. The tri-field meter is probably a good one. They're quite good. The REM pods, K2 meter is too sensitive, very sensitive. You can, and like when Andrew said, when he used to investigate, there was no Wi-Fi, no mobile phones. Even in my time, there was hardly any. It just started a bit, I suppose, of Wi-Fi. There was no Wi-Fi or no mobile phones, so that cut a lot of the fake energy, you know, EMS spikes. And you got Wi-Fi now. If I put my EMF meter there, it would spike over 200 milligauss up to shot off the scale. That's the downside at the moment. Investigating is very tricky. You got to shut everything down. Having your mobile phone on, doing lives, you're probably setting off a lot of the meters through your live connection than you are anything else. So that's the difficult one. I mean, I say when we do lives, the meter go off what probably is the phone and not spirit, because it's surprising. I'm tested them, and it just proves time and time again. If someone's got a walkie-talkie somewhere out in the field and they start talking on it to someone else, you might even know they're on a walkie-talkie or across the thing. That will set your meters up, and they'll set them off. I mean, they're very powerful. I know a TV show that uses them to communicate, and their meters were going off. It was your walkie-talkies. They go as a spirit. No, it isn't. No, it's your walkie-talkie setting it off. Cameras as well. Certain cameras can play it out. EMF meters. So you've got to be careful. I mean, if you put your camera near it to start with, and you use it every time you're using that same camera, same as your mobile phone, if you use it, that doesn't go off for hours on end, then they interfering with it. Then you get a spike, then you know a spirit, not your camera. Yeah, some old school. Talcum powder's another one, Charles. Sprinkle talcum powder. Same thing with a footprint or a handprint. They're quite cool. We've used them. Use some blackboards and put a chalk on it. Just put a bit of chalk on obviously a blank chalkboard. Leave it there. See if they write anything. Do it on iPads as well. You can leave iPads.
True, yeah.
You draw on it. You can do that. Or you get a bit of paper and you mark around like a cross or whatever object and see if they move. There's so many different triggers, and they don't cost a penny.
Charles said bells too. Yeah, I'd love to do an investigation which is totally old school, Harry Price kind of old school kind of ghost investigation.
I got a bell. I don't know if I sent you the bell, did I? Did I send you the bell sound?
Again, do people remember the bell from last time? If you send it through to me, we'll get that up.
I can't show you that one because so I've got a lot of blooming private stuff on here I can't show. Sorry if I'm not being rude.
As you're sending the bell over, I get the next clip lined up. So
okay, yeah, you go,
and then we can get the bell. So that one was a place here. I just play that one more time, and it sounds like a voice saying "I'm dead." So let's take a listen to this.
Make sure you turn your volume up for
Let's have a look at this one. All right, okay. Tricia says here, Let me just get that down so I can see it for a second. I'll get back up. No idea why this new version of Facebook does not let you comment whilst watching. Yeah, they do updates all the time. Is anybody else having problems tonight? Well, I've done it before where it will pause it or stop it, which can be very irritating. So sorry about that. And hello and welcome to you and happy New Year.
It can be your profile as well. I secure your profiles as well.
Let's just add this to stream. So where was this venue?
Oh, I can tell you this one. This is the old toll house in Great Yarmouth. This is the old magistrates' court where they prosecuted witches years ago. But the thing was, I found out that to me it said I'm dead. So there's definitely someone, a presence around there near jail. We found out later on that, I think I can say this because it's public knowledge anyway. Someone used to work there, committed suicide. So we believe it's him. That's what we're thinking. But we also done like a reenactment of a witch being on trial. And while that was going on, because there was a trapdoor, you come up to the court, we kept the ghost box running and see if it interacts with anything that's been mentioned in the court. And amazingly, we did. We got quite a lot of interest. I'm innocent. I'm not guilty.
Wow.
Called the judge something else, swear word. There's a lot of interaction to do with courts and things like that. You'll hang witch. We got that. There was a lot of that come through on the Ghosted box. That was recorded, then played. I played it back and listened through the actual. I think Jane and Natasha were the witches. They were in the original like handcuffs.
Wow.
And we're innocent. We didn't do nothing. Andrew ran out one of the original trials. I can't remember which one it was of the actual court. And it was amazing what stuff we got through interaction with the Ghosted box. Our Ghosted box is about a big spirit box, basically, which sets up scans white noise. Yeah. And we get voices through it. And it was a lot of interaction to do with courts, witches, the judge's scum, I've said. And there's a lot of things like that, which is quite amazing. There's things that to try to see if anything will interact with it. And that did. That was amazing. I'll let you.
Was that? I was going to say, was this, just say that one more time, is that your TV or their TV?
That's CCTV, our CCTV. Yeah. Got 8 cameras on it. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear it. I'm dead.
Yeah, one more time just for people.
Yep.
Headphones.
One thing we do get EVPs sometimes, we get a little knock before the EVP. It's a little tap, like a tap, and then the EVP, or like a knock. We still ain't fathomed out what that mean. I wish we knew. We had a few ideas, but still no explanation for that. There's always a little knock before the EVP, like do, and then the EVP.
Interesting. This is Trisha. So it's I don't know if it's something you'd be interested in, Lindsay and John, but just so I'm going to fetch downs. Just get a video rig with a coloured light until you can investigate night vision. That's what I used to, because it's too light to upgrade my night vision camera. Too tight to upgrade my night vision camera or get a phone adapted for live streaming. I think that Lindsay's and John's phone is mostly there. It's just the last little bit or something like that. But if you're watching, let us know, Lindsay.
It's a shame because with the tech side of it, lives and things like that. What I've learned is there's so much they can do, Facebook and a lot of these things. I mean, like I had got StreamYard we used to do in the lockdown, didn't do interviews and stuff. And the thing is, you can't share it to Instagram. So the whole idea of paying for this, then you can't share to certain. You can to YouTube, I believe. They wouldn't allow it. It's the same
Great.
with TikTok. I'm not sure if they do it to TikTok. I know they don't do it to Instagram. Now, the old Sony HD cameras and one, there's no reason why you can't link them through. It's a shame you can't link them through to your phone. So you have an HD camera. I don't think they even do the lives in HD, are they? I think it's 720, isn't they?
Yeah, I think it is 720p or something like that. So, which is again is a real shame.
The same, yeah. All this 4K technology, and there isn't any. Yeah. Anyway, it's a shame you can't. They did do the Sony camera. You can link it through your camera and live feed it through to your mobile, and then feed it through there to a live, which you'd get a lot better picture than you. I mean, these phones are amazing now, I've got to admit, but they're a bit fail safe for the lighting. If the lighting's not quite right, they're a bit. Even with mobile phones, 120 megapixel, God knows what. Some of the lighting, you can get night vision and all that. But yeah, it's a shame you can't get a true camera linked. You could go live. I think some of the expensive cameras you can, they use. And that's how you can get internet now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure you can get something.
Well, they'll try to do satellite now. They're trying to link them to satellites now, so you've got a perfect signal all the time. But even satellites ain't got the perfect signal, so I don't know where to go with that one.
Wonderful. I've managed to get the bell, so sorry if I seemed a bit distracted. So let me get that up, and I think Alison's asked a question as well, so let me get the bell. So just get to it. There we go.
The school here.
Yes.
Come forward and speak to us.
That was interesting. So tell me where this footage was again.
I can't really say too much about this one.
Sorry, yeah.
but if you play it again, you might have missed me say something about an old school.
Excellent. Alison's got to go because the battery's going to run out, but it was nice having you on, Alison.
If you listen to your school here, I mentioned about.
Sorry, I go back. Say it again.
I'll mention about the old school. So it used to be an old school.
Excellent. Let's hear it. And headphones over if you got them.
Anyone who used to go to the school here?
Yes.
Come forward and speak to us. Yeah, so I mentioned. That's the ghosted box you can see out there, the old radio.
Yeah.
I mentioned about the interest. I mentioned about the school, and then the ghosted box says spirit, and then you heard the school bell. I believe that's the old school bell that used to be there.
Yeah.
There's no bell on the premises, obviously.
It sounds like a school bell to me, just for a few seconds. Let's hear it one more time.
As well. It sounded to me in that room. So that's quite. It wasn't the ghosted box. That's actually the camera picked up. We didn't hear that. That's what the camera picked up. So it picked up the EVP of a bell just after I mentioned school. That was quite interesting. That wasn't on the ghosted box either. Like I said, that was the actual camera picking up a sound of a school bell. And that sound, everyone says it's a school bell.
To me, it sounds like a school bell. It reminds me of what the school bell felt like when I was at school. So let's hear one more time.
The school here.
Yes.
Come forward and speak to us.
Yeah, to me, that's definitely a school bell.
there might be a little MVP before that, but I haven't quite heard it before. But it sounded like something trying to say something just before that as well.
Oh, so I'll go one more time. I'm going to put my headphones in. Press them so I can hear it.
I'll turn it up full bell. The school here.
Yes.
They come forward and speak to us.
I heard two little whispers there, actually. And there was one
okay.
just before come forward, and there's one literally just before the bell that I think I heard. So, yeah, I think that's kind of pointing me to really blow it up and see if there's anything.
Yeah, I can
there.
enhance the sound so it's louder and a bit more cut off the background noise as well. You don't want to do when you do these, you don't want to do too much with an EVP.
No.
Because it could distort it, it could change it, and it might not sound how it's supposed to be. So you have to be careful. But you can, if it's desperado to what something replied and you want to know, then you have to sort of change bring it up louder. It can take some background, but you take too much out, you then altering what it's supposed to sound like. If you know what I mean, you can't alter it too much. They're ones you've seen tonight, and none of these, what I show anyway, have been touched. That's only them if I need to really listen to another little quiet EVP, and I have to think all these EVPs have never been touched. They're not even been toned up loud or nothing. They're not being changed in any way, because I feel that people should be able to listen to them true how they are.
I totally agree with you there. And sometimes it actually makes it worse as well. You actually end up losing quality because you try and put too much with it.
You don't want an EVP when you hear them and it's like, and then also it said school, and you think no, it didn't. I don't know if anyone's seen them on TV shows. Not all of them. Some of them. That says it's you hear it that. And you think, what? And no matter how loud you turn the telly, whatever, and they said that sound said school, and you think, no, it didn't. It can't make sense of what it said. I mean, I'm not sure. I'll put unexplained sound. If I put my Turtle Beach headsets and revamp the sound up, because some words can sound very like males can sound like females, and females can sound like males. Would you believe?
Exactly.
So,
and so you got to be sort of. I mean, when I do see the ones on TV, I think what I have to do one day is just plug my headphones in and see if I can hear it with the headphones in, because I think it's very different. Yeah,
full whack.
Yes.
See what it sounds like, but it's amazing if you get some Turtle Beaches, the top end, really good Turtle Beaches. It's amazing how the sound you feel it that's right there. Though I've only got these earphones in thing, they're nothing compared to what the Turtle Beach can do. Like really top end set can do. You can sounds a lot more clearer. There's no distortion and deafening. But it's amazing. It's a school bell.
Yes, indeed.
I've had similar from a pub as well. We've done a pub and we had a last orders.
That's good. I like that.
The lady we got, I don't know if you got it there, but I might have sent it. I'm sure it said orders or last orders or something, and you hear the bell ring. Ding. I'm not sure if that was the words and the bell or the two. I can't remember.
I can't remember what I've got now on here. So many. So I'll just play this one, and then after that, we'll get you to say a little bit about where people can find you and all that. So what's this one?
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming closer. Should we put that in the middle? I think that's better there. If I'm honest, that's why I moved it, because I think while they're drawn closer, maybe if they want to stand on the outside of us and just watch. It's quite shy sometimes. You go.
Yeah,
that sounds like you go at the end or something like that.
It's I think that was an old lady. 100%. I think she said, "There you go, there you go." You picked up, and there was
Let's
a
try
breath
that again.
before that, like a.
Yeah, Pat said that was a horrible sigh. Sorry, Pat, we're going to play it again.
It's, there you go.
Thank you for coming.
Let's have a listen.
Thank you for coming closer. Should we put that in the middle? I think that's better there. If I'm honest, that's why I moved it, because I think while they're drawn closer, maybe if they want to stand on the outside of us and just watch. It's quite shy sometimes.
You go.
Could be here you go.
Yeah, it's definitely hear go at the end of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of the sort of sign. I'll play it one more time and ask you where it was. The sort.
If you hear like a cough, I think it was, that could be Andrew. I'm sure that was Andrew, the little cough. But the sigh isn't. It's a different sound.
Yeah. Let's play it one more time because that's quite a compelling one. I do like this one.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming closer. Should we put that in the middle? I think that's better there.
Sniff.
If I'm honest, that's why I moved it, because I think while they're drawn closer, maybe if they want to stand on the outside of us and just watch. It's quite shy sometimes.
You go.
Yeah, definitely an older person. I can't quite make this.
Yeah.
It might be hit there you go or something, but it's definitely that sort of sound.
Here you go, or there you go. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's a really good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. And the K2 spike then, no, there wasn't no telly on. All the power was switched off to the house. So it's by the power switch. So there's no electrics, no Wi-Fi, nothing. And there's no one next door because there's an end terrace. And the people, I believe, the next door, that there was no one out. So that brings down the possibility of any Wi-Fi or anything, or camera. The camera didn't set up the thing, but yeah, definitely a creepy voice there. There you go.
The sort of voice, or even the breath at the beginning. If you went to a hotel,
yeah, there's definitely a deep breath there. What was that? A little sigh or whatever? Not a sigh. There was a little sound before that, or just between that?
Yeah, it's like yeah.
Sniff.
Yeah.
I know that's Andrew.
Yes.
He does sniff a lot. So if I only get any sounds, yeah, he does. He's got this habit of blocking whatever.
Yeah.
So I know that was Andrew, but the sigh wasn't Andrew.
Oh no, I mean it was totally different. But the sort of sigh that you wouldn't like to be in a haunted hotel and just turn off your lights for night's sleep and hear a breath like that. How horrid would that be?
Yeah. Yeah. I've had them before. We've actually heard them before like that. Like a deep. They do occasionally do it like a deep breath, like a sigh and a deep.
Yeah.
Like the last breath on some of them was like sort of creepy.
Blimey.
I've had them in years before. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I went like this and went, oh my God, that's the hell. So even though that frightened the crap out of you, excuse my language, scares the hell out of you. And you're like,
yeah.
Because it's right in your ear and you know there's no one there. It's pitch black.
Yes.
There.
Yeah.
And you heard it. And then I heard a laughter straight after.
That is some creepy stuff.
They thought it's funny. They just scare the heebie-jeebies out of you, and they think it's funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're in the different moods. You get different moods. You go to a place. Don't bother me, nothing. You kick me in the shin.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have bothered me. Slap me around the face. I don't care. Bother me. Another time, you spooked by the light. The sound scares. It's weird how you react. Sometimes, any little thing can make you jump out of your skin. You're so, I don't know what it is. It's just how you are, and that's how you are.
Exactly.
But we always give full respect to the spirit anyway. Always important. But they're scared. That did scare me, that one. I didn't. That gives me the creep. I had an old man go. You get
I
that.
think I've heard that
You get
somewhere.
used. Yeah, I've had loads and loads. Yeah, you always get. And I class it an I don't always show just the size. It's you probably people have heard before something relevant like voice something. Then when they speak, that's more relevant. So I've got loads of size. It's ridiculous. Similar to that, male,
Yeah.
female. Some are. I think the cry. I think I've got one I show you with the big loud cry.
Yeah, I think I can't remember if I played that last week or not.
Oh, I can't remember now. Yeah, there's a loud cry like they're in pain or something like. "Ah," like that. Well, I think
Oh yes, I played that last week. Yeah, I
yeah,
remember that one. Yeah,
sorry.
it's almost like a toddler crying sort of thing with it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And that used to
So,
be an old hospital. So that was
okay,
interesting. So maybe they were in
yeah,
pain or something. And we never
could
heard none
be.
of that.
No,
We'd
it's when you hear it
we'd
back,
have
it's
been
fine.
at the
See.
door. Yeah, no, we wouldn't have been. No, that was a private house, and it used to be an old hospital, and they converted them to houses. They had a lot of activity, but that was creepy. That one. Thanks, Charles. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's what we do. We try and capture. We basically capture evidence. That's what they're there for. And obviously, we're not in for the views. We're not in for the fame. We don't get paid. So it's just if people follow us, they follow us. If they don't, they don't. We ain't bothered.
You do it for the love of it, the right reasons.
This is more interesting doing what on show on Paul. We've got maybe a few people watching, and if that's our little thing tonight, that interests me more than right an audience of 2 million. You know, it is. We had a little get together once and shoot a few bits, and people are in awe of it and go, "Wow, that's brilliant!" You know, you should be on TV. And I'm like, no, just let's keep it simple and people experience these things that we're experienced, and the only reason we shut them to get them out there to show you what we're capturing.
Oh yeah, and it's nice because people like seeing what other people have captured as well.
Yeah,
See what. I understand that. I do the same just for me. Let's get Patricia's one. What piece of evidence you captured makes you the most proud? Good question, Pat.
I think my favourite one, I'd say my favourite one of anything, and he's proud of it, is when we got contact with Arthur Lowe from Dad's Army. My favourite.
That's on part 1.
You've got the bit, yeah? Oh, you still got that, are you?
I took a load off so I could make sure I didn't repeat it because it's hard to tell. But if you go to part 1, you'll see it on there. I'll timestamp it.
I'll have to send you the whole clip. They've got 40 minutes, I think.
That's really good.
Minutes. And we were communicating. I think we'd done a live at the time. I wasn't actually doing a live at the time, but we had another video capturing it because when you open the sticks, the connection's awful. No matter what phone you got or what you use, they are terrible. I feel sorry.
You could have the most latest, amazing smartphone with the best camera on it, 5G, and you're out in the sticks, and it looked like a mobile phone from the early 2000s when they first had the video cameras on it.
You're lucky to send a message and do anything else. If you're lucky. And luckily, we got backup cameras, and it was talking to Arthur Lowe through knocks, not once for yes, twice for no. And it's when you're communicating something like that, and with witnesses, and it was just amazing because it was just true spirit connection, and just to talk to someone like Arthur Lowe, an interesting guy, also had an expert to do with Arthur Lowe, which is Darren, and he knows quite a lot about Dad's Army. He knows there ain't nothing he doesn't know, and he's got a lot of memorabilia from Dad's Army when they filmed originally. And we were asking questions like, do you like the new lost tapes that were released and all that? No. Bang, bang. These are loud knocks.
Yeah.
We can't pinpoint the knocks. As I said, that's interesting because you look onto these sounds, where they come from. They come from a door, like, you know, in the movies, they always come from a door or something. Now, can't pinpoint where they're coming from. They're all 1 minute, one down it, one end, down the end, above you, below you. You can hear them on the floor, like thump, thump, thump. But you can't pinpoint exactly. You know, they just move around. That's what I was saying about I believe something was there, but it's just a shame you can't see them. You know, I know certain mediums so they can see spirit and they're standing next to them. That's amazing if you had that sort of gift. But it was just amazing because we're asking these questions and he was spot on every question. I think I had a half a low hat on and glasses.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we got a figure standing there. We did get an SLS camera and we did have someone standing there on the little table in front of us while that was going on. It's just amazing. You just have to be there to experience it. And it doesn't often happen, you know, it's rare. We spoke to a lady called Margaret and once to a monk, but we couldn't get his name. Knox, witnessed by several people at the time. And a Polish soldier we spoke to, and I was asking for knocks behind people, and that was doing it. And they said there was someone standing, I think Daniel, lad Daniel standing there. I said, I just thought of it. I thought, well, what are you getting there? Can they pinpoint where they want to knock? So I want to knock down that, and will they do it? So I said, can you knock behind Daniel? And it done it. He had the thump behind him on the wall. Well, it wasn't on the wall. It's like it's in the atmosphere, but it sounds coming from that direction. He said, that's it. And the people next to him, I heard that. It's right behind Daniel. And I actually asked, and you all heard the sound down the other end. You talk on, I think there's about 10 people in there in a little room, pitch black. And you could hear the knocks, boom. Asked, repeat it. Can you count up how many people are standing there? No, there was like 10 people, like 10 knocks.
Wow.
And you can ask whether they're female. How many female we got here tonight? Exact knocks, 2 or 3 knocks. How many males? 2 or 3 knocks. How many is that all together? The knocks, 7 knocks of people. You can, and it was just as soon as you ask a question, boom, you got the response. For 40 minutes solid, near enough. And then
incredible.
And then it's I don't think you had a chance to say goodbye. I don't think it was just
constant.
We asked, do you mind us talking to you? Knock, no. Did you enjoy doing the show? Knock, yes. No, he didn't like doing the show. 2 knocks, he didn't like doing the show. He used to be in Coronation Street. I said, did you used to love working in Coronation Street? Because Dan was filming me with stuff to ask. And he liked playing, working in Coronation Street. And asked him, was he with his family? He was. And things like that. And did you let's say, we tried to get later on, see if we can get an EVP saying, what did he say? You stupid boy. You know, we're trying to get we're hoping to get something like that, but we didn't get nothing.
No. But I mean, what you had got was amazing, and please send me through the full clip.
Yeah.
And we've got enough time. Got enough time for 2 more clips here. So before the first clip, and I've got a little bit of an announcement, but if you want to just say where people can get hold of you, you know, so that people can follow you, where people can follow you.
Yeah, well, I do basically Ghosted UK on Facebook and Instagram. I don't think we're anywhere else. No. So Instagram or Facebook, just even Google Ghosted UK, and you'll find us somewhere along the lines there. If you've got any questions you want to ask me about anything, paranormal, anything like that, just message Goosage UK and someone will reply eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we do events now and again. I think we've got one up next year. Mandy sorts them out. Some hall, some old. Can't remember what it was now. Can you do part 3?
Yeah, we can do it. There's enough footage.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got loads of footage to catch up. There's tons to catch up. It ain't gone through yet, so that needs looking at. So
Absolutely.
Hope there'll be a few EVPs.
Yeah, let me just find another one, then I'll do and do one. Press the wrong button there. Let me go back. Let's go here. Let's try this one, whatever it is.
I think we need to number them or something.
Yeah, I mean they've got.
There's a message. I know there's a plaque. I don't know what it's on, if I'm honest, but it will be. Oh, right. You can understand the plaque.
You know who that reminds me? I'm going to play it again. Let's play it.
Go on then.
Yeah, there's a message. I know there's a plaque. I don't know what it's on, if I'm honest, but it will be. Oh, right. You can understand the plaque.
What's the name of that actor? And he's very one, and I can't think. He passed away recently, and I know his name. I can't think of it off the top of my head now. He used to go hello, but like a female version of it. He also used to be well known for saying ding dong as well.
Ding dong.
Ding dong.
Oh,
yeah.
Carry On. You're talking about Carry On. I think he was in. He chat the girls and he went ding dong, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I remember you mean. Yeah. Good God. Yeah.
Who knows it? It's a question for you here.
It's definitely a lady, though. It's
yes, absolutely.
And it's just like a very, very posh hello, hello, that sort of thing, isn't it?
Leslie Phillips, that's it.
Leslie Phillips. Oh, hello. Yeah. Very unusual, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, that place has got quite a bit of history. It's a hotel. It's definitely a hotel. We got some weird and strange things. We got one called psychedelic. We got an EVP saying psychedelic.
Wow, that's interesting.
Word you'd use. I can't think of. Well, you'd use the word psychedelic even.
Well, maybe not
maybe
then,
the 60s or whatever.
Yeah.
That was another one that came through that night. Psychedelic, like a whisper, like psychedelic. Sexy hello. Yeah, it's very sexy hello. Yeah, that was interesting. What else did we get there? We had a few like that, really strange but clear EVPs that night. And that's the one we contacted Margaret, who used to work there many years ago, probably about 90 years ago, because that's quite an old hotel, I believe. Quite an old lady used to work there cleaning, and she had a room, and we were in her room. And that's the one we heard the footsteps coming up the stairs and recorded them. No one come up there. No one. It's a weird. You come up the stairs, you go to the few rooms, and then there's a big squeaky fire door at the end. So we knew if someone come up or gone any door, we heard and including the doors are a bit squeaky. There's fire doors, the heavy fire doors. None of the doors went off. So when I went to investigate, we checked the rooms everywhere, and no one had gone through in there at all. But you heard the footsteps. But they sounded like they're going on wood, like a wood sound, like a.
Oh, that's Tim frozen. I think, is it me frozen or is Tim? Oh, sorry. You froze them for a second. Did I freeze or did you freeze, or did we both freeze?
I don't know.
All right, okay. So you're saying about the tap. You're hearing like a tap noise.
Well, it's like footsteps. You hear like footsteps on wood. But the weird thing is they had carpet on the stairs. So if you come down the stairs, you wouldn't hear the wooden footsteps, like hitting on wood. When I was speaking to the owner, she said they used to be just wood. There never used to be carpet down there.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. You can hear someone come up nice and clearly. And in that room that we're in was the lady Margaret, who used to, again, full knots, full communication, intelligent, saying what she used to do there. She's cleaning and whatever. She lived there, and she died there, and it was just amazing. It's just found out quite a bit. They're the things you're looking for. You're looking for evidence, even for private home investigations. You're looking for find out why they're having, not every house is haunted. Not as I think that people say every house is haunted. They're probably that's a
something there. Don't interact with it.
Yeah, it is possible, but it's like, where do you draw the line with activity? It could be like a little thing. To me, I wouldn't even bother investigating if it's just minute. All you do is just give them a sense of comfort, to make sure everything's fine. There's nothing to worry about, which is true. There isn't. It's only when they're super active and there's a lot going on, or involves children and things like that. Then you really have to try and find out what's going on. I mean,
exactly.
All different with all different scenarios. It's always different. Never the two the same.
No.
And always we do little normally do little interviews. So we ain't a full investigation. We just go around and talk to the person, and just get an idea what's going on and things like that. Get them to write notes of what's been going on. So when we come back, speak to them, they'll give us an idea of anything, times, like the dates, the times, any feeling you got, just a temperature drop, anything sort of like any smells, anything like that. Just write it down, keep a little diary, and that helps because that gives you ideas. Is the activity more at a certain time? Is it specifically where? And sometimes they won't communicate with us. Sometimes spirits want to communicate with the person that's there. So sometimes we get the people to try and communicate with them, which helps, especially if it's like a former lover or get them sort of things, or a spirit might fancy someone in the past they've met, which is another
exactly.
We had. So yeah,
and could be like somebody who's on the team sometimes.
Yes. Sometimes they take a liking. We've had. We had one that used to be a performer at a show, and she fancied young boys. She was in her late, I think she was in late 30s, early 40s, but she preferred the young men, 20, 21,
wow.
22,
yeah,
half her age. And I proved that by getting a young lad to try and communicate, and we did.
Yeah.
And we all heard a voice calling his name as well. That was an interesting.
That's incredible. Yeah,
that blew people's minds. That one.
It did. Let's play Save Appeal one more time. I'll just have a quick sort of announcement then.
There's a message. I know there's a plaque. I don't know what it's on, if I'm honest, but it will be. Oh, right. You can understand the plaque.
It sounds like that spirit likes somebody anyway. So I'll pull one up in a moment, just so people know. And Lindsay and John have kindly said, promote it as well. At the end of this month, I'm going to be stopping doing the Chit-Chat Tuesdays. I've actually created my own YouTube channel called Paul Goddard Paranormal. And Lindsay and John said do let them know about it and put out a link. So it's really, really kind of them, but they are kind, aren't they? So I'll be doing more of an announcement of that again. I absolutely love these Chit-Chat Tuesdays, but it'll be slightly more documentary style that I'll be doing some videos. So I'll let people know about that. Before I actually put the content onto the channel, though, I'm going to finish off a Carl Morris documentary as a professional pool player. So I want to get that done and dusted because I've done that some time ago, and I owe it to Carl Morris and I owe it to the people that I promised it to go out on. So so let's get one more going. But I've absolutely loved these, and I won't be a stranger to exploring the afterlife because Lindsay and John said they'll be getting me on here and interviewing me as well, and being involved in sort of other ways as well. So I won't be gone totally, which is good.
Paul, Paul have to join us in an investigation one time, wouldn't you, Paul?
Yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, I'm up for that.
Try and experience some of this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been ages, I don't. Have I showed this one?
He's scared. He's scared.
Nah, not at all. Nah. You used to be quite a seasoned ghost hunter at one point.
Your hair will be up like that.
Yeah, it's like that anyway, usually.
No, definitely. You'll have to join us one time when you're down here. Definitely.
Yeah. No, that'd be good. Yeah, definitely. I'm up for that. Let's see what this one is.
Jesus, have you followed us through here?
Whistle.
Do you speak to the children that are upstairs? What is your favourite colour? How old are you?
Yellow.
It says yellow.
Yeah.
That is so good.
That was. So, he likes yellow.
That's brilliant because you said, what's your favourite colour?
Yellow.
Yeah, that was really clear.
Yeah, absolutely
Really
perfect, clear EVP.
There was some clicking as well. I mean, that being
And the whistle.
So you definitely hear a voice there. That was a good one. That it sort of seemed quite good getting the confirmation, but then at the end of it to get like the other stuff was really quite cool. I think.
Yeah, it's a lot going on that. It might confuse people, but it's a lot. I mean, basically, it's an EVP recorder, and we're playing it back. So we're listening to it. We've asked the questions. One of the questions say, "What's your favourite colour?" And then we're playing it back to listen to it. But the thing is, you can hear it through the recorder when we're playing it back. The yellow, obviously, you've got machinery in the background, which is a pub. So they have to keep them running, unfortunately. And then you hear a laughter, and then you hear the yellow, and then the yellow again. And there's a lot of like weird, you couldn't even do it. It's like on a mixing deck or something. It's like I don't know. It's the most weirdest cartoony type laughter, which is really weird. And you hear that, but we didn't hear that. All we heard was the yellow, the playback. I think, and the whistle. There was a little whistle as well. We didn't hear the rest of it. That one until I played it back and heard it. What the hell? I mentioned it through the recording. And it mentioned it, so the camera captured another version of it while we were talking about the so twice, I think, that you'd done it. And then the whistle, well, I think we heard the whistle through the recorder. It's interesting that the camera captured something different to what we had played back, but was intelligently talking about the yellow colour. So they were like observing us, I think. That's the one I captured, a figure which was on the SLS camera. I don't know if it was a structured light sensor camera. And I caught half a body on one part of the wall and the other part of the torso on the other part of the wall.
Wow. Yeah.
So when I looked down on the SLS camera, I could see the feet sticking out from the wall, but no body. Couldn't see the body, just the feet. I went around the other side of the wall. You could get the body and the head. That side. That's like it's lying in a grave or something, just flat. No movement, just laid there still. When I went round again, all I got was the feet again. I sit there. What the hell? I don't know. Because you shouldn't pick up anyone laying flat in a flat. You normally get them standing or sitting, maybe, or whatever. Different sizes, adult, children, whatever, but never like a half and half. So I've never seen that before. So that was quite interesting. It's one of them ones where there's a lot. Some of these places hold a lot of secrets, and they'll give you snippets of just whatever's going on, but sometimes you never find out what's going on. I mean, Andrew investigated the place for 10 years solid. And he never got to the truth what was going on in there. It just, no matter what you do, you're just never going to reveal anything.
Yeah, makes it exciting sometimes, though, that doesn't it? And
I always do. A lot of places we go to, like the Copyland, there's always something different. It's never the two the same, which is weird, which is telling me, I think there's possibly a portal. There's an opening there somewhere. That's why we're getting things that come in and go. That's my scenario there. I never thought of that straight away. It took a long while, but that's what I think. If you're getting a lot of different things going on in the same building, then the chances there is some sort of opening, a possible portal or something, or gate that they're coming in and out. It didn't make sense. Normally you'd have thought, well, what was there is from the past, is there. And so when you go back, you should hear similar things or samey. But it doesn't work like that. Not always. See, that throws the different, like I said, about having ideas of these places. It's just...
Exactly.
You think you can write a book about stuff, but then you must just tear the book up because your theories are just gone out the window again.
Exactly. That's the paranormal fear, isn't it? Charles says this has been great, guys. I'll be watching you both in the future. Thank you, Charles. That's very kind of you.
Thanks, Charles.
Let's play this one more time.
Jesus, have you followed us through here?
Whistle.
Do you speak to the children that are upstairs? What is your favourite colour? How old are you?
Yellow.
It says yellow.
Yeah.
That is so good.
That was. So, he likes yellow.
That's brilliant because you said, what's your favourite colour?
Yellow.
Yeah, that was really clear.
Yeah, absolutely
Really
perfect, clear EVP.
There was some clicking as well. I mean, that being
And the whistle.
Yeah. It says yellow when we're talking about it. It says yellow again. So
Yes, indeed.
So whatever's there, when you said favourite colour, I'd already captured the EVP, the voice, yellow. But whatever it was, they ain't gone. They're still there. And then I'll say it again, yellow. And then the laugh, the crazy laugh. Good God, I don't think that was just crackers laugh, wasn't it?
It was totally.
Yeah.
Well, I realise it's a school night for people, and I think people are getting ready for bed because they're working tomorrow. Thank you everybody for watching.
I'm on bed by 9 o'clock, me.
Yeah. Well, thank you for staying on. Is there anything before we go that you want to finish off by saying at all, Tim?
No, I just say thank you for having us on your live, and thanks everyone for joining, and don't forget to share Paul and Explore an Afterlife video out after the show. You can just share it out to people. Keep sharing it. They'll probably get you blocked or banned from Facebook. They want you to pay money to share now. Boosts. But share out. Don't forget, we'll share everything out, and that'd be great.
Yeah, privately to friends in Messenger is always good as well.
Yeah, Paul will be out investigating one day out with us, I'm sure. And we'll get him.
Indeed.
But thank you very much for having me on here. Thank you.
No, it's been good. It's always a pleasure getting you on and talking about paranormal and showing the footage. So thank you.
Yeah, so much to talk about. There's probably stuff that I forgot. There's probably tons I forgot over the years that I can remember. I can tell you a few stories and stuff, weird stuff that happened, but I can't remember all of it. It takes time. It's too much. I want to cram it in.
Yeah.
But thank you for having me on the show.
Cool. Look out for the post of what's on next week. Thank you, everybody, for watching tonight. Whatever you're doing tomorrow, have an outstanding day. Thank you, everybody, and see you next week.
Thank you very much.